All right, if you clicked on this, you already know what's going on. So today I'm adding some extended brake lines in the rear here. I'll give you a closer look at what I'm dealing with, but right now in here, you can kind of see back here. These guys down here, there's two of them. I'll give you a better look from the underside, but these are the original ones, I believe. Right now I'm currently running a add-a-leaf and the factory leaf pack, and I'm upgrading to new leaf packs. These are the All Pro Expedition springs, not the max ones. So I think these are like rated for, I want to say 300 pounds consistent. So we're going to swap these out. I've noticed with the add-a-leaf with the droop, I'm literally stretching those to the max. So, and I'm running the 5160s here in the rear, and that is allowing me to droop a little bit more. Without those on there to limit me and the spring just at full droop, those lines are literally, I mean, they can't stretch anymore. So we're gonna extend them. And yeah, let's get into it. So let's jack this up, get the wheel off. Before I do this, I gotta do that. So let's do it. All right, here's a little closer look at these lines. So it's these two lines right here. And I've seen people bend brackets and do all this type of stuff to try and give it a little bit better angle. The solution really is just to go with a bigger brake line, or longer, I should say. So we're gonna hurry up and break these loose, slap the new ones in here. It's pretty straightforward. Let me see if I can get a little better angle right here. So lighting's not the best, but all it is just, you want to use a line wrench, just so you don't round these off or anything, because that's just going to make your day really long. But these clips just pull in there, or pull out of there. You can see how they're open on this one end. It's the same up top. And yeah, just break the lines loose, replace them, and then we'll add some brake fluid, and we got to bleed the brakes right here. And so same on the other side, and get the air out of the lines. But let's knock this out real quick. All right, so these are 10 mil. This is a line wrench, or at least that's what I call it, or I've always heard it called. But I'm sure there's probably a better name for it. But anyways, as you can see, it gets around these guys pretty good. You definitely take your time with this. You don't want to round these off. It'll just make for a way shitty day. So with these, especially on the bottom ones, the top ones are maybe a little bit better, just because of the way they're oriented. They're, more facing down. But you'll get a lot of grime, and I live in Utah, so salt, all that good stuff, just dirt, mud, whatever gets in there. So what I do when I break these loose is I'll get on there. These are already broken loose, but I won't take any of this stuff off, because you want to make sure you can get these guys out before you go and do everything else. So don't take this off. Don't, it'll just make it harder. So I wait to take the little keeper out. With these guys, I get on there and just kind of work it. So go for loose, right? But I'll even come back and snug it a little bit and just try and break it loose. And then once you do break it loose, it's got a flared in on it, for those of you that don't know exactly how these lines are. And you'll get a little bit of trash up in this. Let me see if I can get closer. Up in this, in between the line and the actual fitting itself. And so, like I said, you don't want to booger these up, because then you're going to be screwed. You're going to have to cut it, put a new one on, get a flaring tool, flare the line, or buy a new line. But I mean, that's crazy expensive. You'd just be better off trying to fix the one you have. But anyways, just work it back and forth, man. I mean, and get it nice and loose to where it, like I can kind of show you on this one, because I tightened them up so I'm not leaking fluid. But I mean, now it's just loose, so I mean, no biggie. And then I'll do the same thing up top. All right, I got all these lines broke loose here, and the clips removed. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's just these little clips, and the new lines come with new ones, but basically this is like a hex key right here. And so you can see that that guy pops up in there, and it's the same on top and bottom. And then this just simply is a retainer, just slides in there all the way down, of course. But I got top and bottom broke loose, and then up top here, there's two brackets. So this front bracket on mine, and I'm sure on all, it holds it's basically a bracket like this. It holds the lines up top. I don't take that one loose. I've seen other people do that. To me, that just seems to make it harder. So I've always left it connected up top here, just to support that bracket while I break the lines loose. But I do take this one loose, and this is just a single bolt. It's a 12 mil, and it holds basically it's just a bracket for the ABS wiring that's up there. So you can see it actually right there, that T. That's the ABS line right there. So I take that loose just because that harness is kind of in your way. I mean, it is a tight fit up there, so that harness is just in your way. So I removed that. But other than that, that's it. So next, what I'm gonna do is I'll go ahead and disconnect both of these lines. And then to try and not make a giant mess, I'll usually take these two lines and throw them in like a water bottle or something like that, just to try and collect my fluid that's dripping down. And then that'll give me time to connect the new lines to each side and kind of snug them up. And then basically I'll be able to individually just like undo this line and then put the new line up there, and then undo this line over here, and same thing, do it up there. That way I'm not making a giant mess. So we'll get that done, and yeah, then it'll be on to bleeding brakes. All right, I got one line off here, and just so we can compare, this is a little comparison between the new and the old. So you can see, got a little bit of an extension here, so that'll be nice. All right, now both those guys are in, got everything cleaned up, checked for leaks, and we're looking good. Top's all in. I'm not seeing any leaks, so it's good. And I also bent this bracket down right here for the ABS. It is pointed more like a 90, and I just took it and bent it down just to give me a little bit more leeway on these ABS lines over here. And temporary solution, we'll figure something out a little bit better down the road, but I think that should be plenty. I mean, it's central, so only full droop with both would really start to strain on this, but I figured it's just a little wimpy bracket, so I just bent it down, and I'll give at least probably a couple more inches of travel before I start to yank on those too much. And these guys are looking good, and yeah, so now we're just gonna move on to bleeding these brakes. All right, we got it all done. It's been on the road for probably about a week now. I ended up not filming the brake bleed situation. Figured there's a lot of stuff out there about that. You can look it up, or if you really want it, let me know and I'll just bleed them for fun, just to show you how it's done. But anyways, just thought I'd give a closer view of these lines and that ABS line I bent down. Like I said, everything's been great, no leaks. Got the new leafs in, and it's looking good. But anyways, I hope this helps you guys, or at the very least, you can just make fun of me. Yeah, and you could show your support, give me a sub, like, comment, all that good stuff, and it would definitely help me out. But until next time, you guys have a good one.